fellow Tice, my friends. Hey guys, this is Zerodomai Kitsune, and where the heck are my Fox guides? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm probably gonna be a bit slow on those videos, and instead of just having them on every Friday, they're going right into the group of other videos I make, where they're gonna show up just as randomly as any other type of content on my channel. But I have a bigger explanation to give you, and that is because I have fallen into Fallout fatigue. You know, that fatigue you get when the game you're really looking forward to is just a bit disappointing and you can't bring yourself to play it. Yeah, that's really my situation right now. Doesn't help that my computer is currently a bit underwhelming for the game, which I'm still working on because I am building a new rig just so I can play Fallout better, but that's still a situation that I'm in. But even more important than that, the real reason why I put a pause in making Fox Guide videos is simply because I was being so rushed to make them as I was going through the process that I wasn't even playing the mods anymore. I would simply install them, go into the game, and attempt to start recording the final cut, basically talking as I figure things out, and that's terrible. And when I finally saw one of my recordings, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a short break from this because I clearly am trying to do too much too fast. Let me show you an example. Okay, now that we're here, let's go use some grenades.
Hold it right there.
Here you go. As you can see, works pretty well. I do believe it has ran out of ammo. No matter. Here, I have a shotgun. I do believe it too has ran out of ammo. I don't think that's how gravity works. A final thing to note is that these don't seem to explode when they're destroyed or damaged too much, so they'll end up tanking a lot of enemies, so a little bit OP in that aspect.
No!
So yeah, that's that. I'm not gonna do weekly Fox Guides anymore. Instead, I'm just gonna do Fox Guides on the mods I particularly think are interesting or good. But if you stuck around this far, I still have one more thing to show you. And that's the top 5 of the things I think modders are gonna need to fix in Fallout 4. And this is after, you know, playing and beating the game. So without further ado, let's go into my first top 5 video. The top 5 things modding needs to fix in Fallout 4. Number 5. Alternate paths to completing quests. This is pretty high on the list because of how unlikely it's going to happen, but oh well, it's still worth mentioning. Fallout 4 is depressingly linear, especially compared to other Bethesda titles like Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout New Vegas, but don't count those because they're made by other people. Now, I'm not saying turn every quest into a long, drawn-out adventure with NPCs and unique items and all that would be cool, but I'm not saying that. All you need to do is add a little bit of voice editing tweaks a la Amorous Adventures from Skyrim, a few branching paths, some options. You can add a lot to a playthrough with just those changes. I know it's asking for a lot, but it would do so much to make this game better. Number 4. UI expansion. We already have UI mods for things such as organization, but the only addition to the stat card in the corner is simply a DPS category. I personally think the game needs something more detailed for the cards, seeing as there's so many stats in these weapons that you just don't see. Hell, you don't even see how much ammo your gun can hold. You only see the amount of ammo you have for it. Now, I read on some forum post that editing that particular aspect of the UI is going to require the SKSE equivalent for Fallout 4, but I really hope it doesn't take forever to implement that sort of mod, as at least to me it is very critical to the visual design of Fallout 4. Number 3. Unique Loot Enhancement. Okay, this one's a real big annoyance of mine. Most of the unique weapons that are in the game basically have an effect you can find on a legendary drop, unless it's a completely different weapon than anything else, like the railway rifle. God, that's hard to say. This is the exact same issue I had with Skyrim. A decent number of unique quest reward weapons you could simply get by enchanting normal weapons of the same type. This makes it so even the unique dungeons, instead of generic dungeon runs, don't feel nearly as rewarding as they could be, since in the end you simply get a weapon that you actually stood a small possibility of getting when you killed a legendary mod potentially at the beginning of the quest. Number 2. The perk tree. The perk tree, simply put, puts me to sleep. But due to compatibility issues, I don't really think the solution is to just altogether overhaul a system and get rid of the current perks. Tweak them, yes. Get rid of them, no, it'll break too many things sometimes. Hopefully instead, there will be a way to extend the perk tree further down and add more perks. And if I'm being greedy, have it done in a way that they don't overwrite another mod's perks. Have it so that you can stack them on top of each other multiple times till the end of time. I know it's asking a lot, and if it does happen, it probably won't be done in the way I just described. But either way, more perks are a must, because like I said, when I look at that perk tree, Number 1. More weapon attachments. Now, unlike some people, I actually do not think Fallout 4 has a lack of weapons. Instead, I think there's a lack of weapon modifications, which was supposed to supplement the weapon diversity which was lacking. If you have 12 weapons, but you can modify them in enough meaningful ways to make 200 weapons, I'm okay with having 12 base weapons. But that's not what Fallout 4 did. They had a limited number of weapons, and only a fraction of those weapons had enough customization to claim that they were more than just one weapon. If you understand what I'm saying, because that went in a huge freaking circle. Anyway, being able to modify a weapon enough to turn a pistol into a rifle should have been available to just about every weapon in the game, including DLC automatron weapons. The pipe weapon should have been the example every single weapon draws from in the game. Now, here's the problem. I feel like the modding community sees this issue, but is tackling it by adding more weapons which depend on the current modification system. And I'll talk more about the modification system being terrible later. But for now, I just want to say that I think it would be a better tactic to simply tag on more attachments to existing weapons, like the standard pistol, which there is a mod that allows it to become a rifle. More of that, because I know I saw one mod and it was a modification to the alien pistol. Sorry, spoiler alert if you didn't know there was an alien pistol. But it makes an alien rifle. Now, by looking at it, I understand what the mod author did and why he did and why it's a separate item, but just for the sake of an example, I wish he had made that rifle a modification of the base alien rifle. Like I said, I know why he didn't, just using it as an example. So, more additional modifications to existing weapons, and still more weapons in general. I was gonna say less new weapons, but that's stupid. New weapons are always a good thing.